Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope you are having a great day. I feel like it's been a minute since I did a solo video. I think low-key, I was kind of running away from recording this. This is the ending or a recap of the mental health awareness month. Initially, I did plan to do a recap, then I was like, maybe I should invite someone. I did reach out to somebody, but it didn't feel right. And I'm not a person I like to force things. So we're gonna go back to the original plan. How you guys doing? I still, I don't know how I feel about those self-recording, but I do enjoy the interviews. So I will continue to try my best to bring it to you. I see that you guys have been enjoying it. So thank you. Thank you for sharing and liking and commenting. Muchas gracias. And big ups to everyone that, came on the platform this for Mental Health Awareness Month. So big up to Zoya, and Christina. So I'm trying my best to say so to stop saying during my videos. But anywho, I want to do a recap to, like I said, to go over what we discussed, not really into details like in depth, but what I took out from each and every person that was here. And what before I even do that, what I'll do is one thing that I dislike about speak on one thing that I dislike about Mental Health Awareness Month is that I really hate the fact that it goes quiet after the month, It's really nice to see people talk about it during the month that it's talked about, that people are awareness is being brought to persons, but after that it's like, it goes quiet. But that's with a lot of things too. I don't know, that's just my take on it. I really don't like to see it, and I could be part of the reason why it's not going that way, because look at how I contributed an entire month to mental health, whereas the past months I didn't do so. But it's something that I don't like. I could be part of the problem, but I don't like to see it. So that's my dislike. But what I do like is the fact that people are stepping out and are speaking on their stories, are using their platforms to, bring awareness to it. I think when we talk about it more, there's persons that are going through certain things that are able to relate to it. And this month, which is May, I had Zoya and Za. So I speak on Zoe and Za first, because I believe her video came out first. And Za came on and she talked about her story of her traveling from St. Martin to Tanzania because she was seeking for something more. Like she just, she picks up her 70s, and that's something that she does. Like traveling is something that she does. So it wasn't nothing out of the ordinary. But what stood out to me in our discussion was the importance of self-care, you know and a lot of times we think just because, let's say, church or you're going through certain things, that we shouldn't do the work. You have to put in the work in order for you to see the solution, to reap the benefit of it. Doesn't just happen that you go through certain things and then you're okay. You have to put in the work, and the work doesn't mean that it's gonna happen today for tomorrow. Sometimes it's a life. Sometimes it's a lifelong journey. Some things it takes you, it takes you a while to get over it. It takes you a while to work through, and some things just happen in the blink of an eye. It just happens like this. So with her saying that, it's just me using that to remind you to be patient with yourself. Sometimes you may even think that you got over something, and then you're triggered and you're like, man, I thought I was over that. But no, you're not. But be patient with yourself when times like that occur, so that you are not, you don't get mad at yourself. Just have grace and try to understand what may have triggered you to feel a certain way, and how you can work towards it. you know um one thing that I do I used to do more before, but it depends on the season and the time. What I'm going through is journal. Sometimes I journal every day, sometimes I journal every week or every other, but it's something that I do recommend that persons do because it helps to release, I feel. At least for me, from my perspective, when you journal, whatever you have bottled in, whatever you have going on in your mind, you put it on a piece of paper, it helps. It helps. Sometimes you might even find the answer in what you're writing, but just keeping it in, I don't find it's very helpful. So, and Zah has a platform where she talks about, where she gives encouragement. It is the Prize Palm podcast. I do listen to it and I find it's very helpful. I love the way she plans out her talk, and the fact that she gives you tools, that she gives you an assignment to work through at the ending of the podcast. I really enjoy it, and I'm not just saying it just because, but I really do enjoy hearing her speak, and it comes from a genuine space. Like if you listen to it, it comes from her story, and it comes like you can hear it. Just go and listen to it and then you'll see. So that was Zah. The other person that we had was Zoya, and Zoya has a platform, Therapist Talks, and well, she talks about different topics regarding mental health. And I love speaking to her, especially about rehabilitation, and and what I really love was the fact, some things that I'm getting my thoughts together, some things that we don't really notice. And I recently learned, not recent, probably 4 years ago, not that we are not just physical being, we are spiritual being as well. And we also have to nourish our spiritual side. So you cannot just, so there's spiritual, mental, and physical. You can't just eat right and not do things that you can't just eat right and feed your physical aspect and not pay attention to your spiritual part as well. And for me specifically, how I keep myself, I say, spiritually nourished is really reading the Bible, listening to scriptures, not listening to scriptures, reading scriptures, which I don't do that well now, if I'm being honest, but I do listen to a lot of sermons. But that's how I keep myself spiritually nourished. Some people, it's listening to gospel music, or some people tap into different spiritual deities. But for me, that's what I do. And I love that she touched base on that and how important that is. So if you would like to keep updated with what she's doing, because she's been very vocal, she's really been out there, and I really have to commend Miss Zoya Hyman for the work that she's doing, for her being so passionate and willing in this specific topic, and trying to minimize or minimize the tabooness of, I think I just made up that word, that tabooness of mental health. And the last person that I'm going to speak on is Christina. She's someone that I met in college, my first year in FAMU, and I love her. And I love how she's using, she's living in Ghana, she's from the US, but I love how she's using her platform, which is blogging. And she's a travel blogger, and she ties the both of those two things in to what in her travel blog. So her mental health, she talks about her journey with therapy and how traveling away from home, how that affects her mental health. And for her, to be honest, it's something that she's still working through. All of us are, but I think the importance, or what's so amazing about it, is that, I don't know if it's because I know her, but I don't think so. It's as she go along, she speaks about it. It's not, I went through this, and it kind of is, but I don't know. It's just, I love how she speaks on it like no, because as I was saying, she's in Ghana and finding a therapist and dealing with the different culture from the different culture of the US and Ghana. It's something that is new for her. It's something that is ongoing. But do check, I feel like I was just repeating myself, but do check out her channel, her page, her IG page, her channel on YouTube, which is Being Christina Jane, and she does travel blog, really nice. And the more mental health aspect, I believe, is in her travel blog, and it's Being Christina Jane. If you want to follow her, you could check her out on IG, and in her stories, she still speaks on it. That's why I feel like it's really like as she goes through it, you learn of it. That's why I made that comment. So do check her out on IG. If you go on her IG page, Being Christina Jane, you'll find all the other links to all the other to all her other platform. One of the things that I really wanted to speak on is, and I don't think, okay, one of the things that I really wanted to speak on was have one, oh, I don't want to edit this again. I really just want this to be genuine. So you might hear me repeat myself a few times, but I really just want this to be raw. So you might hear me butcher a few words. You might hear me go off, but just bear with me. So one of the things that I wanted to discuss for Mental Health Awareness Month was the perspective of, let's say, a family member of someone that is going through a mental health that is going through mental health illness or issue, whatever it may be. So whoever is supporting that person, because we often hear of the person, like the person's story, but we don't really hear how it can affect a person that is supporting that individual. So yesterday, I had the opportunity, not had the opportunity, I really just ended up meeting someone that has a relative that is going through a um, mental issue, mental problem. I don't know what it is specifically. I didn't go into it, but they spoke about how difficult it was for them and how how it is, how it was for them. So the reason why I kind of feel like I'm going all over the place, but yeah, I don't feel like we talk about it that much. But when I spoke to her, she told me that it was difficult, that she didn't have anyone to support them, and her herself went through a breakdown and other stuff in addition to that, added to it. And now she's taking the time to remove herself every now and again to do her self-care. And she has additional support. Now it's not just her, it's someone else that is also helping her with this family member. And I just wanted to point it out. I didn't want to go too in depth in what we discussed, but just the fact that if you have someone that you're caring for, I can't say I went through it, but I could only imagine how difficult it is for you as the caretaker, how frustrating at times, how difficult, how tiring it may be for you. And as I mentioned in one of the interviews, that you cannot pour from an empty cup. So if you need help, seek it. If you need someone to assist you with caring for that person, seek that help. There are some places, depending on where you are located, that provide maybe a daycare center that can care for that individual, or maybe a family member wouldn't mind helping you in that area, even if it's 2-3 hours that you need to just go and get a massage, just go to the beach and just husa, because it's a lot, and you cannot do much for that person if you don't have it within you. So these are the stuff that I wanted to mention. I don't think, I don't know how long this video is. I didn't want it to make it too long, but yeah, I think I touched base on everything. The family support. Oh, men's mental health. Where do I start with that? I do see more men stepping out and talking about mental health to some extent. The reason why I say to some extent is because being in St. Martin, being in the Caribbean, it's still something that is taboo. Taboo. And I had an encounter with a family friend, someone that watched me grow up in a sense, and I could have tell from our discussion that he's going through a difficult time, and I'm like, yes, I understand this, but you have to, at some point you have to be able to allow people in. You're supposed, not supposed to, but you should be allowed to be expressive and be able to do this. And his comment was, and he's older, probably, let's say 50s, I don't know, but his comment was like, when you are raised a certain way, a particular way, it's hard for you to break down that barrier of not communicating. Here in the Caribbean is more, you work, what feelings, you bottle up your feelings, you provide for your family, and that's it. No complaining. You talking about how you feel sounds like complaints. And he's an older person, so breaking down that barrier is maybe even more difficult for him. But with the men that are coming up, I do believe that it's important for you to know what it is that you're going through, and being able to to be strong in what you're saying. Don't see it as weakness, but no, this is how I'm feeling, and how you feel matters. And even in saying that, I think it's sexy when I'm woo, but I'm just gonna say, but it is sexy, it is beautiful, it's very sexy. That's what I feel. It's very sexy when a man can describe how he feels and not feel ashamed about it. Not saying, yeah. Yeah, should be able to express how he feels and not seeing it as a weakness. And even in that, I do believe providing a safe space for men is very important, and for women as well. And I say this because I know I'm a person, I don't like being vulnerable. Sometimes I feel like it makes me weak, and it's like I'm contradicting what I'm saying, but I do understand the importance of being able to express. Also, too, when you do that, you set a boundary that you're not going to take any BS from anyone. This is how I feel, and this is how this made me feel. Don't do this because this, and if after you explain somebody, this is how it makes you feel, and they do it again, then they don't care for you, then okay, let me exit. But if you don't communicate it to them, and you just bottle up, or you just go quiet, or you don't express it, you cannot hold that person accountable for what they do not know. And if they do know, maybe they realize that they did something that caused you to feel some type of way, but okay, they see it based on your reaction, but how do they better it? Like, provide that, okay, this made me feel this way, maybe do this way another time. So a lot of things can be better if we communicate, and if we have that space where we can. And just because someone tells you something doesn't mean that you have to go and tell Peter, Jack, and Harry, whoever. You keep that to yourself. So those are the points that I had from the mental health awareness month recap. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I do hope that we take the time to learn ourselves, learn what our body is telling us when things are getting too overwhelmed, whether it's work, family. If you need that time off, listen to it, listen to your body, because it it's telling you something. Just listen to it and do whatever you need to do, that is necessary for you to do. Whatever you need to do, you just do it to make you feel better. And it's a process, it's a journey. It is not going to happen today for tomorrow. And don't compare your journey with anybody else's. Just walk in your path and be patient with yourself. Pray. Of course, I'm going to tell you to pray, and continue to have faith in God and asking for guidance in your journey, because it's your journey, it's your life, So I say a lot. But that's what I wanted to add to this video. I hope, as I said, I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you do, please leave a comment. What should you comment? What questions can I ask? Do you find it's difficult for you to be vulnerable? Is that a good question? Because that's something I don't want to say always struggle with. Like I don't like to be in my feelings. I do get in it, and I do have my safety. I have persons that I can speak and just be like, yeah. And thank God for those people. Thank God. But do you have a problem? Do you have a problem being vulnerable? Is that something that you struggle with? Let me know down in the comments. So thank you guys for watching today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you would like at least a solo video every now and again, every month, maybe a recap, because that was my intention at the beginning of the year. But things are changing. I'm still figuring out this season, so be patient with your girl. And again, thank you for watching today's video. Have a blessed and a wonderful day. Bye.